Please take your seats. The meeting is about to begin. Remember to speak into the microphone, as this meeting is being recorded for public record. Please stand by. We are going on air in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for coming today for our presentations and awards meeting. We're going to get started. Make sure we get through everything. Thank you everyone for coming. It's always a great day in Miami Beach to recognize and honor those who have done so much for our community. We don't do an invocation for presentations and awards, but we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And I think the longest standing employee in this room, I believe, is Tom Mooney. I could be wrong, but...
So I guess you want me to lead you in the pledge?
I would, yes.
Okay. If everybody could stand and face the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll hear more from Tom in a bit. And very apropos, as we just did the pledge this morning, we did a very nice presentation on Ocean Drive, on the beach by Ocean Drive and 8th Street with a red, white, and blue America 250. Thank you, Commissioner Fernandez, for bringing that item, and it looks beautiful. And of course, Eric, you actually had to do the work with your team, so thank you for making it look so nice.
It's nice, man.
Yes. We're going to start with PA8.
PA8 is Proclamation William Corso Saving a Child's Life.
Commissioner Monica Mateo Salinas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, William and your mom and dad and your brother, I'd like you to join us at the podium, please, if you could. William, hello.
Hi.
Hi. I've known William since he was in first kindergarten at South Point Elementary, and your family's longtime residents of Miami Beach. And so it comes to no surprise to me that you did such a kind and important and frankly a life-saving deed a couple weeks ago when you were fishing off the pier. Would you like to share your story, William, about what happened?
It's a really long story, but I was just like fishing, had a bunch of friends on the jetty, and then they left, and it was, I don't know, it was like 7:30, and then the lifeguards were gone, and there was nobody in the water because they closed the beach because it was like 10-foot swells. And then there's this one kid who's just swimming out in the water. He's really annoying me because he's like right in my spot, and I was catching a lot of fish, so it was like a great day. And then I don't know, he just starts like screaming for help, and then I think his like brother and his brother's friends were like on the rocks too, but I was the furthest one out. And he just starts screaming for help, and I think that he's just trying to get attention and stuff. So then I'm just getting more annoyed with this kid, and he's just like, why is he screaming? And now he's like, I'm screaming even louder. I'm like, I'm drowning. So then I'm just like, maybe there's a problem. And then his brother like wakes up, and then he's like, oh, Junior, or like whatever his name was. Then they start running out in the rocks to try to jump in the water. So then I was like, oh, maybe this kid does need help. And then he like goes under the water for like a second. And then he like pops up like 5 feet further out than he was like a second ago. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's in like a rip current or something. So then I walk out further on the rocks, and I jump in the water, and I landed on a rock and almost broke my toe. And then his brother also jumps in the water, and then his brother's friend. There was like 4 of them, and then 2 of them went in the water. And then I grabbed the kid, and then I started walking back in, and he was like a monkey, and he's grabbed on, and he wouldn't let go. But without like the swell, I could touch, and like the water just comes up to like my chin, and then I was like hopping back, and then I just handed him off to his brother, and then he like climbed back on the rocks, and then I left.
Amazing. So, William, I'm going to read this proclamation for you because it's very important that you understand that you saved a life that day. You demonstrated remarkable awareness and bravery when you noticed a young child caught in the dangerous rip current off of South Beach. You recognized the urgency of the moment. You fearlessly leapt from the jetty, roughly 30 yards offshore, placing your own safety aside to reach a child struggling against the rip current, and through exceptional presence and and physical strength, you successfully secured the child and guided them away from the life-threatening waters. William, your instinctive response in a moment of crisis reflects a deep sense of responsibility and compassion that inspires all of us who call Miami Beach home. And the courage you displayed serves a powerful reminder that heroes are not defined by age, but by the strength of their character and their willingness to act when others are in need. And your heroism, maturity, and selfless action not only prevented a tragedy, but also stands as a shining example of the profound impact one courageous individual can make in the lives of others. And the City of Miami Beach recognizes that your heroic conduct reflects great credit upon yourself, your family, and the community that you proudly represent, and that your courage and humanity stand as an inspiring example to all who call Miami Beach home. Now, therefore, do we, as mayor and commissioners in the City of Miami Beach, hereby proclaim June 10th, 2026 as William Corso Day in the City of Miami Beach. Mom, Dad, do you want to say some words?
That is not the story that I heard when he came home that night. He's actually annoyed that he has to be here now because he'd rather be fishing. But the story we heard was he told us about all the fish he was catching, what a great day it was. And we heard about 30 minutes of that. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to bed. And as he walked up these stairs, he was like, by the way, there was this kid drowning. I had to jump in and get him, but it's no big deal. So that says a lot about who William is, and he does not want or need any of this. But we are so grateful because, you know, teens get a bad rap nowadays. It's tough being a teen. And for you guys to recognize, you know, what we already know about our son is such a big deal. So thank you, commissioners, mayor, everybody here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Monica, you know, thank you. It means a lot to our family.
My pleasure.
If I can comment on one thing you said about the bad rap, one of the beauties of doing these presentations and awards is we've had some youngsters. We have all age ranges, but we've had some youngsters come here, like your son, incredible. I'll tell you, just seeing what I've seen, the future is very bright.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. By the way, he doesn't have an e-bike or cell phone.
That's awesome. Well, I said we would hear more from Tom Mooney, so let's call item PA4.
PA4 is proclamation, Tom Mooney, 33 years of dedicated service.
So Tom, usually when we call you up, it's on a very complex zoning issue, and we just literally turn to you. But this time, I'll start it off. It's it's been a pleasure working with you. I'll tell two quick stories working with you. One is when I first started, literally when I was elected commissioner, I think my first meeting was on a major issue with the lawyers and outside law firms. It was a zoning dispute, and you were in there, and I remember it was a 2-hour plus meeting, and I remember you and others were saying, Commissioner, you probably hate this. This is probably not what you expected. I'm like, no, this is awesome. This is great. This is exactly what we need to deal with as legislators and city policymakers. The other one is whenever someone would call, a resident, a nonprofit, and had a zoning question, because obviously the big players are all going to have their own lawyers. They're going to know the laws and the rules and the zoning. They don't need to come to you and ask that. But a lot of people don't have the access to that. It's expensive. And you were always accessible. I remember one person actually told me, he goes, I think your planning director just saved me tens of thousands of dollars because you were always willing to take the time, explain things, tell people what the law was and the zoning laws. So it's very much appreciated. And I'll read a little bit from the proclamation, but I wanted to turn it over to you and my colleagues. 33, I joke around, 33, we should retire a jersey with the number 33 on it for you.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mayor. 5 years ago, when I went into the DROP program, the then director of the retirement system said to me that it's going to come faster than you think. And he was right. It really did, particularly the last year. It really came a lot faster than I thought. And it's very bittersweet. And the main reason it's bittersweet is because I really like my job very much, and I like my profession. And a lot of that has to do with the impact that my parents had on me, my late mom and my dad. And I think my dad might even be able to be watching this on Zoom. He couldn't make it up here personally. But he worked for the county for 30 years. And one of the things he told my sisters and I was to pick a profession that you like and that you like doing 9 to 10 hours a day, and don't worry about the finances. That'll work itself out. But when you pick a profession that you like, you're going to be happy and you're going to be good and you're going to excel at it. And I was very lucky that I was able to find a profession in local government. And I started in 1989 with the city of North Miami Beach and joined the city of Miami Beach in 1993. And I was very lucky to find a profession that I was able to embrace and excel at. And that's probably the chief reason I was able to do so well. But there's also some other people that I do have to thank. First and foremost, my lovely wife, who's in the audience, who I've been married to for 25 years. And my amazing son, who's sitting next to her, who's 18 now. They really provide the foundation and the balance that enables me to have a good temperament, be even-keeled, and to excel at work, because that type of balance is also very important. Also, a lot of what I've accomplished, or most of what I've accomplished, is due in almost exclusive part to an amazing staff. A lot of them are back here today. Carmen Sanchez, my deputy director, Deborah Tackett, who's going to be succeeding me in a couple of weeks, Rogelio Madan, Michael Belush, and the rest of the entire team who is here. There's just too many names to repeat. But each and every one of my staff does an amazing job day in and day out that allows me to focus on the bigger picture. I've always been very supportive of my staff, and they've been extremely supportive of me. And without them, I would not have been able to attain the results that I have. I'd also like to thank the manager, who's been exceedingly supportive, as well as his predecessors, including Alina Hudak and Jimmy Morales, who actually appointed me, as well as my assistant city manager, Maria Hernandez, and my previous ACM, Dave Martinez. They've all been very supportive. Without the backing of your boss and without somebody that is looking out for you, respecting you, it's really difficult to do your job. But having that backing has given me the ability to be the best planning director that I could be. And then lastly, in terms of thanks, it would be appropriate to thank yourselves, the mayor, the commissioner, the commissioners, and your predecessors. And the reason I say that is because in this profession, we oftentimes get a lot of questions from people as to how do you do the things that you do? For instance, how do you get Walgreens to build such amazing cutting-edge stores that they won't build anywhere else in the US? And I frequently tell people that it's because from the top down, and from the top, I mean from the policymakers down, they demand good planning. They demand excellence in planning. And that in turn drives myself, it drives my staff year after year. And so I think that's reflective in terms of the team that we have. It's reflective in terms of the way that we've been able to promote from within, the confidence that the manager had to promote my successor from within. And that was one of the chief reasons I actually went into the job, was to ensure that we're able to have that upward mobility, and so that we can continue to develop people within the department. So with that, I will be gone by the end of July, but I will always be everybody's friends. My number is not changing. Miami Beach will hold the biggest place in my heart. And as I told the city attorney and the manager, I will be available should anything come up where you need my assistance in any way. And that holds true for everyone here as well. So thank you.
I think we're going to take you up on that, so
Feel free to.
Commissioner Bott.
So, Tom, I didn't realize that I've known you for a third of your career here at Miami Beach. And you are part of the reason why I'm here. And when you came up to start your proclamation process, I've seen you come up before the planning board and before the commission and in all kinds of situations. I have never seen you give that big of a giddy, like happy school kid, ear to ear grin. And it makes my heart happy. And I will tell you that you are part of the reason why I am now a commissioner in Miami Beach, and I don't say it lightly. I started my resident activist role in 2015 through a variety of circumstances, and the first issue, as one does, was in my backyard with trying to figure out a process to slow the roll on demolishing pre-1942 houses. Remember that? Mm-hmm. That was so cute. Back then, 15 years ago. I think there were 8 demolished and went up to 11, and we all had a nervous breakdown. Oy, those were the good old days, right? But through that, I got to know you. And through that, I ended up getting appointed to the Miami Design Preservation League and Miami Beach United and the planning board. And so my route of activism has gone through planning and urban design and development and land use and all the complicated and beautiful and frustrating things that we do here in Miami Beach. And I've said from day one, one of the most amazing, there's so many amazing things about Miami Beach, but one of them is the fact that it is like living in a living, breathing architectural museum. Not because it's cast in ember, because it's not, but because you can walk through, and once we get the log cabin back in its rightful site, you can see a structure from the early 20s, which is a very rare structure in South Florida, all the way to the most cutting-edge modern architecture. And you have been an incredible friend and teacher and mentor, and you help me every day navigate the complexities of what we do, try to elevate and protect and defend and define. And we will miss you. And to your great credit, as you have said, you've built an incredible bench. I'm so excited to start working with Debbie, and I've already worked with Rogelio for years on the planning board, and you have a great team, and that means we all have a great team. And your phone will be ringing, not too often, because you have better things to do without us, but it has been an honor and a privilege to learn at your feet and become first a friend and now a colleague of yours, and I wish you all the best in your next chapter.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Dominguez.
Vice Mayor, did you want to? No. You've been a true professional, Tom, and it's been a joy to work with you these past few years. And before I came on the dais, I would watch commission meetings and see the detail and the institutional knowledge and the passion that you have for planning and the mentoring that you did with me when I first started. I even made posters out of the zoning maps and was studying them and learning. It's always a joy to have you in meetings. You have so much background and knowledge, and always such a professional. And I wish you the best in your future. And I'm so glad you're not changing your phone number.
Commissioner Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And Tom, I want to join along my colleagues and thank you for your many years of honorable public service to the city of Miami Beach. I don't know too many professions where an individual comes and goes, but their footprint and the mark of their work can't outlive in such a meaningful way. And I think urban planners, such as yourself, is one of those rare professions where you can look back and the built environment of a city is defined by the work that you have done and by the guidance you have given us as policymakers for the city of Miami Beach. And even in our goals of making our city a cleaner, more resilient, more resident-friendly community, you have helped us in advancing those policies. And so I want to thank you. I want to thank you on behalf of our residents today, but on behalf of the residents who are going to inherit a community that's better, that's more beautiful, that's better preserved, that has a higher quality of life because of the policies you have helped us create in this city. Thank you for your service. I wish you the best of luck. And I know that our planning department continues in great hands under tremendous, great new leadership as well. Thank you, Tom.
Tom, hello. Congratulations on your 33 years of the city. That's quite impressive, really, truly, because you've given so much of your life, personal, professional, to this city, and we really are, in a debt of gratitude to you and the work that you've done in Miami Beach. You've left such an incredible legacy with all of the planning and the building and the zoning that we have in Miami Beach. So we all just thank you for that, your dedication and the hard work that you've done for our city. And I also want to just mention that, I'm always so impressed at how much you know about our zoning that if, AI could never replace you because there's just too much up there. And I think you could outsmart any computer we have and any file or database or whatever. I think that you've got it up there. In fact, I know you do. So that will be missed, but I know you've given a lot of that information to your staff and they have it up there as well. But just always impressed by you and the work that you do, Tom. So thank you.
It's a tall order to replace Tom. Thank you all.
We got Eric Carpenter wants to say something. Eric, you did not appoint Tom. He was planning director before your time.
Tom.
By the way, you have made good appointments.
Tom was appointed planning director within a year after I was appointed public works director here in the city of Miami Beach. So I did have the benefit of knowing Tom before he was a planning director, and he was very deserving of that opportunity at the time. And you have made the people that put you in that position look very good over the last 12 years, Tom. I've had the honor of working with you over that period, and there are so many good things about how you have handled the challenges and all of the situations that you are the only arbiter of as the planning director under our land development regulations. And one of the things that I admire most about you is that beyond your unflappable approach to things is that you take such care in making sure that you arrive at the right decision, that your decisions are beyond reproach. Very seldom have I ever heard anybody question your decisions because they know that you are taking a long, hard look at the details and you are making an interpretation of the code that is in the best interest of the city. And I think we are all better off for having worked with you and having those decisions be made over the last 12 years. So, Tom, thank you for all that you've done. I look forward to continuing our relationship. I definitely call you a friend, and if there's ever anything that I can do for you after all that you've done for this city, don't ever hesitate to reach out. And enjoy your time with your family.
Thank you.
Tom, did you ever tally up how many mayors and commissioners you've worked with over 33 years?
Well, when I started with the city, it was Dan Gelber's dad.
Wow.
So, yeah, he was the mayor. And Roger Carlton was the city manager. So probably 6 or 7 city managers, including interim city managers.
So I think most of the proclamation that we have for you has been read, but there's actually, has been stated, but there's one paragraph that nobody's covered yet. So I want to read that one. That you have generously contributed to the community through your involvement with the Dade Heritage Trust, the Crystal Academy Primary School and Therapy Center, and the Miami Design Preservation League, where you serve as a certified historic district tour guide. It's pretty cool. So we also, by the way, we'll take a picture with this, but we also have a special award for you, besides the proclamation, for Tom. By the way, it says City of Miami Beach Planning Director Thomas R. Mooney, AICP, 33 years of leadership and dedication from the City of Miami Beach. Now, therefore, do we, as the mayor and commissioners of the City of Miami Beach, hereby proclaim June 10th, 2026, as Tom Mooney Day in the City of Miami Beach.
Can we get one with staff as well?
Sure, absolutely. Everybody, come on up. Yeah.
Okay, let's look over here. 1, 2, 3, and a few more. And then let's look up here for one more picture. No double chin. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
All right.
PA 10.
PA 10 is proclamation, Lindsay Schuttenstein, contributions to our community.
Commissioner Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're just gonna give a second just to, there's a lot of excitement today in the room, some pretty incredible individuals being honored, individuals who shape the future of our community, people who save lives, and truly incredible people who are making our city the true paradise that we're privileged to live in. And today, we have the unique privilege of honoring a woman whose life reminds us that the greatest acts of leadership are often the quietest. And there are those who make a difference by seeking the spotlight, and then there are those like Linda who make a difference by shining the light on others. And for decades, Linda has devoted... Lindsay, sorry. I'm back from
Yeah,
vacation.
it's like 4 in the morning for Commissioner
was-
Fernandez right now.
I just got back from Japan. It's 13 hours ahead for me.
Oh, 6
Literally.
in the morning.
I know.
Six in the morning. For decades, Lindsay has devoted her life to the Jewish values of tzedakah. Not simply charity, but the sacred responsibility to lift up one another, to lift up the humans amongst her. And through her compassion, through her humility, through her unwavering generosity, through her strength, she has supported Jewish education in our community, cared for the elderly, supported humanitarian relief, invested in Israel, and brought hope and opportunity to countless families and opportunities. And we know this because she's not promoting this herself. We know this because we have a commission chamber filled with people who love, who support, who admire, and who celebrate the incredible work that Lindsay does every single day. Her generosity has also left an enduring mark right here in our city of Miami Beach. The Schottenstein family's extraordinary support has strengthened institutions that enrich the lives of our residents every single day, from the gym at the JCC that carries the family name, to the transformational investments in behavioral health care at Mount Sinai Medical Center, to their involvement and very generous contributions at the Greater Miami Hebrew Academy, where generations of new young people will learn, will grow, will build their futures thanks to the generosity and the vision to give back to our community. Their support also to the Greater Miami Jewish Federation has likewise helped care for families in need and strengthen Jewish life and ensure that no one is forgotten. But what makes Lindsay truly extraordinary is not simply what she has helped build, it's how she has built it. With grace instead of recognition, with humility instead of fanfare, with a quiet understanding that the measure of a life is not found in what we keep, but in what we give to others. And so today, on behalf of our community, on behalf of the mayor, on behalf of the city commission, but most importantly, on behalf of this incredible community that comes out in support of you, to say thank you, it's our great honor to recognize and dedicate today, June 10th, 2026, to be forever known as Lindsay Schottenstein Day in the city of Miami Beach.
Commissioner Fernandez, Mayor Minor, commissioners, family, friends, members of our Miami Beach community, I am truly humbled and deeply grateful to stand before you today. First, I want to thank Commissioner Alex Fernandez for sponsoring this proclamation. Alex, thank you for your friendship, support, and unwavering commitment to our community. I am deeply honored by this recognition and grateful for your belief in the importance of civic engagement and community service. I would also like to thank Mayor Minor and the members of the City Commission for this extraordinary honor. To have a day declared in my name by a city that my family and I love so deeply is something I never expected and will forever cherish. To my husband, Joey, and our children, Jacob, Jonah, Emma, and our parents, Jeannie and Jay, and mom, Karen, and sister-in-law, Nicole, and my sister and brother-in-laws, the Hebrew Academy, the Ritz community, Congregation Or Chaim, and the Pine Tree Shul, thank you for your love, encouragement, and support. Everything I do is inspired by you, and I share this honor with all of you. When we moved to Miami Beach nearly 10 years ago, I simply wanted to become part of this community. I never imagined standing here today. Along the way, I found a city filled with people who deeply care about one another and who are willing to step forward when something needs to be done. Whether advocating for safer streets, creating opportunities for children and families, supporting educational initiatives, or working with organizations that strengthen our community, I have always believed that if you see a problem, you don't walk away from it, you get involved. I have been fortunate to work alongside so many dedicated residents, volunteers, educators, and community leaders and friends. Any impact I may have made has only been possible because of the countless people who have shared their time, talents, and passion for making Miami Beach an even better place to live. What makes Miami Beach special is not only its beauty, but its people. It is the neighbors who help one another, the volunteers who give their time, and the community members who show up, speak up, and work together for the greater good. This honor is especially meaningful because it comes from a city that has given so much to my family and me. Miami Beach has become our home, our extended family, and the place where some of our most treasured memories have been made. Thank you, Commissioner Fernandez. Thank you, Mayor Minor, and the City Commission. Thank you to my family, friends, and everyone who has been part of this journey. I am deeply honored, sincerely grateful, and proud to call Miami Beach home. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. And I want to invite up Robin Jacobs, if you allow me, Mr. Mayor. Robin, I think, has brought out the entire community, and rightfully so. Rightfully so, because you've highlighted to so many people the important work and remind us all of the important work of civic activism and of people of good heart, people who care about the community, making the community safer, and your involvements with Pine Tree Drive, safety improvements, your involvements with education and Truro University, your involvement with the Hebrew Academy and with the JCC, with Hatzalah. It's just, the list is endless, and the mark you have made in our community in such a short period of time. I think you moved here in 2016?
Yeah.
2016. And so, Robin, I want to thank you for having this beautiful idea of bringing out the community and recognizing people who are doing so much good, because we live in a time when there's so much division that divides us. But when we have agents of good that bring us together, that bring the community together, we have to move on those opportunities and celebrate and honor you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Yes, and thank you, Commissioner Fernandez, for bringing this. I won't elucidate all the accolades, but I wanted to address kind of a bigger issue and what you bring to the table. The impact you've had, as Commissioner Fernandez has mentioned, has been tremendous. What's also tremendous is what your family has done. And it's easy to be able to, and I'm kind of giving you the credit because it's easy to fall back on the impact your family has had and say, well, we've done this and we've done that. But you've really brought it to the local level and improving the lives of so many here in Miami Beach. But I can say your family has had an impact on me and millions worldwide. If people don't know, the Schottensteins family has done incredible work in so many levels, but also worked with ArtScroll to translate very difficult, complex Hebrew texts, the Bible, the Torah, the Talmud, into multiple languages, Hebrew, English, French.
and literally millions, I think it's millions probably, have benefited from this and have been able to learn on a level that is probably unprecedented in human history. I have to tell you also, when you mentioned Or Chaim, Rabbi Chaim Friedman, the rabbi of Or Chaim, was jumping up and down. So he appreciated that. And you mentioned that when you walked up here, Lindsay, I was actually thinking exactly what Commissioner Fernandez started with. I know about this because we're sort of involved in this. But you don't go out there and publicize your name and say, I'm doing this. You do it, you reach out to us, you reach out to others, you do it in a very quiet, humble way. So I'm very happy we're able to bring this to light, because it's important for people to be recognized for what they do, but it's also important that others who are out there and maybe thinking of getting involved, that they can make a difference. They really can make a difference in their civic, municipal government, just like you have. So thank you. Congratulations. Oh, Commissioner Bott.
Lindsay, this is the first time I've met you, but oh my gosh, I'm so impressed and dazzled. And did you say you have 4 children?
3.
3 children.
Jacob and Sebastiano.
I think you should know, if you have any doubt, that your mom is a rock star, but I'm sure you know that better than all of us. And I don't know how you find the time to raise a family and save the world in, small ways every day in our local communities. So I'm just saying, you're young and healthy. You got years ahead of you, so no pressure, but let's keep this going, shall we? Congratulations. It's an honor to meet you.
Can our family and friends, everyone come up for the picture? Everybody who's here.
Good job, Lutz.
All right, let's come up here.
Hi, how are you?
While we're taking pictures, PA3.
PA3 is proclamation, Semilla Restaurant and Chef Frederick Julien.
Thank you, everyone.
PA3. PA3.
Much more fun than the last time I was here. Looking at each other. No, I would have gone.
No, I took this. I have my stuff. Okay.
When they were fighting for something that the city passed.
Do I just start talking?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So PA3 is proclamation, Semilla Restaurant and Chef Frederick Julien.
Okay.
Vice Mayor Dominguez.
Thank you. Hi, Frederic.
How are you?
I am so excited to present this proclamation. I have been a customer of Semilla's for years, and your restaurant does such a beautiful job for the community. If you haven't been, it's 1330 Alton Road. You've also participated during the Wine and Food Festival here in Miami Beach, the best of the best at the Fontainebleau, and your kids went through school here.
Yes, of course.
In Miami Beach. And you're just a great business to have, and I know how much you care about the community, and I just wanted you to be recognized. So we're going to read a little proclamation about Semilla. Chef Frederic Julien, chef and owner of Semilla, has proudly served the Miami Beach community for over 20 years, creating a beloved neighborhood restaurant rooted in warmth, quality, and hospitality. Chef Julien's distinguished culinary career began in France, where he served at l'Élysée, the French presidential residence under President Jacques Chirac, and later worked alongside renowned chef Guy Savoy before operating his own acclaimed Paris restaurant, Le Clos Saint-Honoré. More than 20 years ago, Chef Julien chose Miami Beach as the home for his family and his future, first opening Café des Arts on Collins Avenue in 2005 and introducing French cuisine to locals and visitors. In 2013, Chef Julien fulfilled his vision of a true neighborhood restaurant by opening Semilla on Alton Road, a family-owned establishment known for its welcoming atmosphere, exceptional food, and deep connection to the community. Together with his wife, Leticia, and their dedicated team, the chef has made Semilla a reflection of his core values: hard work, generosity, authenticity, and gratitude, enriching the cultural and culinary fabric of Miami Beach. So now, therefore, do we, as mayor and commissioners of the city of Miami Beach, proclaim June 10th Semilla Restaurant Day in the city of Miami Beach. Please.
Thank you very much, guys. So thank you, Mr. Maynard, for the recognition. Laura, I'm thinking about Mark now, you know.
I know.
It's during COVID, you were helping us a lot. Us, it's local business, you know, and I didn't know you because you weren't there, but it was some other people, and it was the same for most of the city commissioner, and it's why after so many years we're still alive, just because you are here also for us. So thank you again, guys.
Well, we care about you, and we love your happy hour. If people don't know about the Semilla happy hour, you'll find locals. What are the hours?
5 to 7, Monday.
They have a menu of food on the happy hour, and also some signature drinks, and it's a wonderful establishment. The neighbors love it, and we love you. So let's take a picture.
Thank you.
If I can just say something quickly. Well, congratulations. Thank you for investing in our city and really making us shine. You know, restaurants are a tough business. You see a lot of people who try to
be around and be successful for 20 plus years is a testament to the quality that you're providing. And just know we often talk about how we're serving restaurants, but we're also, serving our residents, and we spend a lot of time trying to make our city better, cleaner, safer. But certainly it's our residents, our local businesses, and we're proud to have you here. Thank you.
No, thank you. And just one word, don't give it license to open a restaurant to everyone. This is not the goal. The goal is to have professionals who love people, not money. And as soon as you love people, you can make money.
That's right.
This is the answer to be 20 years on the beach.
Love it.
Merci.
Thank you. Wow.
Merci pour tout ce que vous faites.
PA7.
PA7 is proclamation Tropicolor 40 years of business in Miami Beach.
There you are. Well, for 40 years.
40 years, yes,
Wow.
sir.
Congrats.
Thank you.
It's actually, a lot of times I'm giving this proclamation for a couple of reasons, but one of them is our city uses your services, and
Yes.
you do incredible high quality work.
Thank you, thank you.
It's pretty hard to stay in business for 40 years and not do high quality work, but I think we've all seen the great work that you do.
Thank you so much.
Would love to hear you say more about it, but you've been a staple in Miami Beach, South Beach specifically, and can't say more about it. That you should continue to be successful and produce the great work that you do. You can see it's unique. Some of the work also it's
we
it's
do a
unique
lot of
quality.
custom
Why
work.
don't you tell people some of the type of works that you do that people may not realize that you are capable of doing in your shop?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Mayor Menard, and members of the commission, and we're deeply honored to receive this proclamation. And so some of the work that we do is very, very custom work. We work with different materials for prints, paper, metals, wood, acrylic. And not only with print, we also do custom digital die cuts. So we can print material that complements the image, and we shape them in a very creative way. So a photograph is no longer limited to just a rectangle or square. It can be a circle. It can be any kind of free form in shape. So we enjoyed working with the creative community in Miami Beach for the past 40 years, and coming back to work every day is very enjoyable. We're working with like eye candies, and that's what keep us going for day after day. Even after 40 years.
I know the answer to this, but who started the company?
I stumbled upon it. I work at the black and white lab.
You look too young.
Thank you. I was 20 years old. Now I'm 60. A grandfather of a lovely
God bless.
2-year-old. Yeah. Thank you. So we're very honored, and thanks to the city, and thank you to our loyal customers and to our great team. And we look forward to another 40 years.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to say anything?
Wanna add something?
Vice Mayor Dominguez.
I've used your services a couple times. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's something in my office that was done through your store, and in my home, in my living room, I have work that was done there, and it's crisp, it's beautiful, it's stunning. I really like the quality of the work and the pride that your team takes in helping your customers.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Bott.
You know, I moved here almost 24 years ago now, and I had friends who were fine art photographers, and I had come from Boston, where I was very lucky to live next to, or not next to, but very close to a really excellent photo lab. Different kind of photo lab, but really great quality of work. And so my fine art photographer friends would brag about the work that you would produce for them 24 years ago.
Wow.
And as I got more involved with living in Miami Beach and saw the things that you do and the thing that you did and then what you do for the city now. And let's not forget how much photography has changed over the last 4 decades. And for you to still be not only in business but thriving is a testament to leadership and good business sense and embracing change as opposed to fearing it. All things, all values that we can take on board as we all seek to be more resilient in our personal and professional lives and in our civic lives as a city. So we're looking to you to follow your lead on how to thrive over 40 tumultuous years in the industry. Congratulations, and
Thank you
here's
so
to at
much.
least 40 more.
Thank you.
Do you do everything in-house?
Pretty much everything, like 99% of the work.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read the last, we have a proclamation for you. I'm going to read
Wow.
the last paragraph. As a fixture in the heart of South Beach, Tropicolor has mirrored the growth and spirit of Miami Beach, proving that devotion to precision, service, and creative passion can build a lasting legacy that reaches far beyond our shores. Now, therefore, do we, as mayor and commissioners of the city of Miami Beach, hereby proclaim June 10th, 2026, as Tropicolor Day in the city of Miami Beach.
Very honored. Thank you so much.
Called PA9.
PA9 is proclamation, Dr. Alba Tere Day.
Commissioner Bott.
So, does anybody in this room not know Dr. Alba Tere? Okay, one. Anybody else? She's, oh, you guys. All right, she is awesome. Well, we just call her Alba, but she's the director of our, I'm going to get the title of the department wrong, Community Outreach, no, Housing and Community Services. I always get it wrong. I invent more things for you to do as if you don't have enough of them to do. I will get to the proclamation in a minute, but I want to tell people why I am doing this. We live in one of the best cities in the world, we live in one of the best cities in the world, period. And we are really lucky to live here. And even so, it is a city. And sometimes it's a small city of 82,000 people, and sometimes it's an enormous city of 500,000 people, which makes it a complicated city. And we do a lot in our city for people of every different stripe, every different walk of life, whether you're a resident or a business owner or a visitor or an unhoused person or a person on the brink. And we do that with compassion and empathy and grace. And when I say we, it's you. You do that with the team you lead in your department, with your colleagues at the police and fire departments. But you set the tone. You are a passionate, consummate professional. And those of us who get to work with you know this because we see the work you do. We see the results you have generated. We have seen through what could have been a draconian, really ugly law and guidelines set by the state. It could have been a really nasty bit of business for the last couple of years, and it has not been. We have been able to do, and again, when I say we, it's you guys, have been able to do really stunning work. And I'll talk about that in a second, but it's not often that you get to see it firsthand. And I don't know if Jason Green is here, but one night, a couple of months ago, we had wrapped up, I think it was the second budget meeting, and it was late. It might have been our first, I don't remember. But anyhow, we were all here late, and we were all kind of staggering out of the budget meeting, making our way back to our offices, our cars, whatever. And Jason and I, our CFO, Jason and I were walking out of the building, and this complicated young woman kind of approached us. She did not look well. She didn't look like she knew what was going on, and she looked well enough, but not, something was off. And she had a piece of paper directing her to the office after hours. Unclear when she got the piece of paper, unclear if it was 15 minutes ago or 3 days ago. And when we were trying to, Jason and I were trying to figure out what she needed and how to help her and where to direct her, you came out of the meeting and started engaging with us all. And it turned out that she had been, she was a homeless person. She needed services. It was after hours. It's complicated. She was getting a little bit more aggressive because things were not going in a linear fashion, as life never does. And you handled the situation with such grace and professionalism. Forget about me and Jason, but you did get us into a safe space, which was, I didn't even know that was a thing I needed to think about. And then you continued to work with this woman, and you got the colleagues that you bring on board. I forget which organization it was that night, but they were there. The police were there. You were talking to her, and we were, this was over the course of a good 30 minutes or so. And nobody thought this was going to have a good outcome. We thought, she's going to slip through the cracks. She's going to go back to wherever she was before, and maybe we would interact with her again, maybe we wouldn't. And then later I found out that it had the best possible outcome. Do you want to, I'm not going to steal your thunder, do you want to tell what the outcome was?
Yes, fortunately she was able to be reunited with family by our amazing homeless outreach services team, so
let's just take that for a second. This person who was not well on her last sort of wherewithal to get help, got the help with your grace and professionalism and unflappability and being able to recognize, that was the thing that was so striking, that you could articulate what was happening. Like, we saw what was happening, but you understood what was happening, what the dynamics were and what the options could be and where the cracks might appear and where the net might come to catch her from underneath or through the cracks. I was really, like I said, it's one thing to know about this and read about it in the LTCs or have you give, your expert advice when we're trying to figure out how to do things differently or better. It's another thing to see it in action. And it was an honor to witness you do your job as well as you do. Forget about managing a budget and figuring out contracts and staffing stuff and all the other things you do. It was grace under pressure with the best possible outcome, and I think we are so lucky to have you in our city and the department that you lead by example. So I won't go through the proclamation in enormous detail because that encapsulates what you do, but I will just say that the department has evolved into a comprehensive and coordinated system of care integrating mental health services, substance abuse treatment, housing assistance, care coordination, food support, rent assistance, helping people find the resources within the community, either here in Miami Beach or throughout the county, and sometimes getting them on a bus home to their loved ones. with holistic and dignified support. And it is so easy to read headlines about the terrible things that are happening in places and see how we can be facing the very same challenges and have excellent outcome with respect for the individual behind the crisis. And that's a you thing. That's a you thing, and we are all the beneficiaries of that. You've been with the city for, goodness, since 15 years ago? You've been here for over, wait, I'm getting this wrong. 12 years, 15 years of relevant experience, 12 of which have been here at the city, which is incredible, and the director for the last 4 years or so. So there's so much more to say, but I know we've been talking a lot, but I really wanted everybody who's here, anybody who's listening, to understand how lucky we are to have you and the leadership you give to the department, and by extension, the education you give all of us as we try to make this better for everybody. So thank you. So now, therefore, do we as mayor and commissioners of the city of Miami Beach hereby proclaim June 10, 2026 as Dr. Albert Tare Day.
Thank you so very much for your kind words, Commissioner. It is not a me thing. I am extremely blessed to have such an amazing department and team members to work with. I have an amazing assistant director, Marcela Rubio, who half of those things could not be accomplished without, and a beautiful team of individuals that do work that is so difficult. And the burnout in this field is so incredible, but they come in with such grace and power and ability to help others that it is an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be able to be a part of them. And, you know, standing up here, the only thing I wish is to be able to represent them the way they represent themselves in this community, and they serve this community, and do the work that is impossible sometimes because you may not win every time. And they do it with grace, and they come in every day willing to sometimes fail, but continue to doing it. And all of that is accomplished thanks to you all and the support that you provide us to be able to make sometimes the impossible possible. And with the city manager's support, our ACM, David Martinez, honestly, some days are a battle, but we don't fight it alone because we fight it with all of you, so thank you.
It's such a complex, challenging issue, as we know. The whole country is facing it. It's really a joy and a credit to you and your team that we, as a body, are speaking pretty much in one voice on the issue. There's a lot of compassion, but there's also enforcement. But those are two words. They work together, but there's also a series of hundreds of decisions that have to be made on different issues that comprise that. And it's a joy to work with you because we're pretty much aligned on the same issues. And I don't take that for granted. I don't think any of us do, as Commissioner Bott brought out, because when you read about what's happening in other cities and certain decisions they're making that I think our community does not agree with, and it's not just us, it's our residents, do not agree with, it's a pleasure, because we could be knocking heads and we're not. And I think a big part of our success, and it is success, it's a challenging issue and we're constantly combating it. But as a city, we're having a level of success. We're helping people. We're spending millions of dollars to help people, get them back on their feet, put them in shelter, have employment programs for those who are capable, and so much more. I mean, there's so much to it. I sometimes have asked you for a summary of the services, and it goes on and on and on. It's long, it's lengthy. You got to take
And grows every day.
What?
And grows
every day. And you almost have to take an hour to read it all. But so we're helping people, but at the same time, we're also having success and working with different departments, with our police department, the lowest homeless count ever in the city's history, and the last census count by the Homeless Trust, but also the responsiveness. Every time that I or any of us reach out to you or our police department, I mean, the answer is in minutes that we get, and that's an answer to an email, but in practicalities, there's someone who's going out to help and provide those services to that homeless individual in a very, very short amount of time. And I'll tell you, there are cities, I don't want to mention names, but there are cities not that far from us where I have friends, we all do, who tell me when they make the call, nothing happens. Here, when we make the call, our residents, us, something happens, and for the good, to help people, or to, unfortunately, sometimes it does require enforcement. But thank you. Thank you for being the head of that department and leading us with grace.
Mr. Mayor.
I'll go down the, Commissioner Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I want to thank you, Alba. I remember when I was first elected 5 years ago. I had to think about that, and my brain is foggy today.
It's now 7:15 in the morning for you.
It is. But I remember, it struck me at the time how we were handling homeless issues very differently. Homeless outreach was mainly Monday through Fridays, during business hours. And you've led to create a system where homeless services are available every day of the week. It doesn't end at 5 p.m. It continues to the nighttime hours. There was a point in time in our city where young homeless people who were transgender or gender nonconforming, didn't necessarily have access to services. Now we have partnerships with entities like Pride Lines, where we're able to provide a certain level of assistance to young people experiencing the challenges of homelessness. Just last Wednesday, I received an email from someone. I'm going to quote, I'm 63 years old, currently sleeping in my car, sometimes with a small dog because my landlord sold the apartment without even telling me ahead of time. I ended up giving everything away before I was evicted. And I got this text message, and I screenshot it, and I sent it to Alba. And again, because of the time change, 13 hours difference, I didn't realize it at the time. It was 10 p.m. here in Miami. And Alba responded. And within 30 minutes, you and your team had identified this person, located the person, identified the services that they needed, and offered and tried everything that you could to provide assistance to this individual. That is a vocation, that is a caring heart, and that is a demonstration of a true and dedicated public servant who serves with goodness of heart. I want to thank you, Alba, because you truly go above and beyond, and not just on issues of homelessness. Homelessness is what we focus on a lot because it gets a lot of public attention. But there's so much other work that you do assisting tenants with our partnership with Legal Services of Greater Miami to ensure that tenants have access to representation in court when they're facing the interests and the powers of big landlords, and making sure the seniors have access to meals, and making sure that those who are oftentimes forgotten in society know that in your office they have a line of assistance. And that truly speaks to the values of our city, but to the leadership that you bring every single day. So thank you. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Vice Mayor Dominguez.
Thank you. Congratulations on this recognition. One thing that I appreciate about you and your team is the sense of urgency, because a lot of the things that residents reach out to me on are their homes. Echoing what Commissioner Fernandez said, I don't really get a lot of contact on the homeless side of things, but people that could potentially become homeless because of circumstances comes up all the time. So I've had seniors, something happens, they get sick, and then they missed payments, and now they're behind on paying the rent at Rebecca Tower or one of the senior buildings. And You're always very calm. My team will send them the form. They can fill it out. We will help. And in North Beach, I've had a few residents that reached out, hey, my building was bought out and is going to be torn down, and I've got 30 days to find something else. And your team goes in there and finds homes for people. And then recently, there was something else, but anyway, you're always very on top of it, and helping people with the housing needs is just so critical. You do a great job, and so does your team. On your team specifically, I mostly deal with Marcella and Laura, and they're both terrific. Congratulations.
Commissioner Monica Mateo Salinas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Dr. Terry, I'm one of your biggest fans and cheerleaders. As you know, I've known you for a very long time. And as Commissioner Fernandez stated back many years ago, the way we dealt with the homeless here was different. And I need to commend you and your team because you guys have really found the sweet spot between compassion and also, I guess, the enforcement side of it, where we always offer someone help. Always. You all do, and I know you do. And you always do it with care and kindness and compassion and consideration. But you also are very clear that there's a better life for folks than living on the street. So you have that sweet spot under your direction, and you're so well deserved of this proclamation and this accolade, and your team is as well. And I just want to thank you all for everything that you do for our city, for the folks who need your services, especially and most importantly, and for all the lives that you've touched in Miami Beach. Thank you, and thank you to the team. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, Eric.
If I could, I'll be very brief. I just want to say the city is blessed to have Alba and her entire team, because not just that they are extremely knowledgeable and extremely professional and extremely diligent in performing their work, but they also lead with compassion and heart. And they are always, always, always trying to do the best by this community and helping those that are in most need of help, no matter whether they realize it or not. So thank you, Alba.
Can we get a picture of staff as well?
Hey, there's an assistant city manager missing here. Assistant city manager. You got the phone calls too.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
We didn't even mention that you have at least one person on your team, Alba, who is formerly homeless. You would never in a million years guess it. Someone in our police department who does homeless outreach is formerly homeless. You would never in a million years guess it. And I think they add so much to our city having those experiences. It's a great team. Thank you. PA1 and PA2.
PA1 is Proclamation Pulse Remembrance Day, and PA2 is Proclamation Pride Month.
Commissioner Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So today I have the privilege of presenting our city's proclamation recognizing LGBTQIA+ Pride Month, and as well as a proclamation commemorating Paul's Remembrance Day. And if I could ask Carol and the members of the LGBTQ committee, advisory committee, to come to the podium and join us in the front. These are the volunteers who every month meet with great passion, with great dedication to represent our community and advise us in this work. And this Pride Month feels especially meaningful, and I wrote about this a little bit in an email I recently sent, because as our country prepares to celebrate its 250th anniversary, and actually, in fact, today we unveiled our new patriotic lifeguard tower, I found myself reflecting on how deeply intertwined patriotism, freedom, and the pursuit of equality truly are. And as an openly gay elected official, I've always been very struck by the false choice that some people try to create between the American flag and the pride flag, because our history tells a very different story. Because in many ways, the pride movement is an American story. It's a story of people who believed so deeply in the promise of our country and the promise of America that they refused to accept being excluded from it. And it's the story of Americans who sought not special rights, but the same equal rights that every other American is granted without question. The opportunity to love and marry, to build families, to serve our country, to contribute to their communities, to pursue their dreams without limitation, and enjoy the same blessings of the liberties promised to every single American in our country. Our rights exist because of the enduring promise of America, that all people are created equally, and that we are all entitled to life, to liberty, to the pursuit of happiness. And so in that way, pride is not separated from that promise. It is, in fact, pride is an expression of the American values that we fight for and we hold more dearly today than ever before, as our country celebrates 250 years of its foundation. And it feels almost like it has to be said, because oftentimes we're pivoted against each other. You have to choose between being proud of who you are or loving your country, or choosing between the pride flag or the American flag. These aren't competing ideals. They are complementary expressions of America's continuing pursuit of a more perfect union. And it is a pursuit for a more perfect union, because our history of marriage bans, of workplace and housing discrimination, the stigma of HIV and AIDS, of resilience in the face of discrimination, of the acts of hate and violence that our community has had to endure. It shows us, it reminds us that the history of our country hasn't always been great, hasn't always been perfect, but we continued that pursuit for a more perfect union, and that's on all of us. And this Friday also marks 10 years since 49 innocent people, mostly LGBTQ individuals and Latinos, were murdered at Orlando's Pulse nightclub in one of the darkest acts of anti-LGBTQ hate in our nation's history. And we remember that moment, and we remember the night the 49 souls lost there, because the work of protecting freedom, protecting human dignity, is never over. And it feels that work today is more important than ever before. Sadly, attacks on LGBTQ people, on our visibility and our rights continue today. The force that seeks to erase us, to malign us, that hope that we become fearful or discouraged seems to be resurging and seems unfortunately all too prevalent in today's political discourse. And we cannot allow that to happen. Miami Beach will never allow that to happen. And we are a unified front on the Miami Beach City Commission to continue fighting and to continue leading for our visibility and for our rights. And so instead we stand up against it. We respond the American way. We respond with courage instead of fear. We respond with hope instead of hatred. And the quiet confidence that liberty has always expanded because of ordinary people choosing to stand together, to act bravely, and to continue pushing for a better future. This Pride Month may also be historic for another reason, and that is because of recent changes in state law. It may be amongst the last times that our city is able to formally recognize Pride in this way. And that makes today's proclamation even more meaningful. And so I want to thank the members of our LGBTQIA+ Advisory Committee for their leadership, for their service, for their passion, for the unwavering commitment to ensuring that Miami Beach, that our region, that our state remains a place where everyone is respected, is welcomed, is able to live authentically. Your work strengthens not only our LGBTQ community, but it strengthens our entire city, because we know that hate against the LGBTQ community is hate against Hispanics, is intolerance towards Jews, towards women in position and powers, towards Black people, towards every other minority in our community and throughout the world. And so, as our country celebrates 250 years of its foundation, may we collectively continue building a nation, a community where the promise of liberty reaches every segment of every community, including our LGBTQ community. May we be able to continue fighting for our rights, for our freedom, for our visibility, for our ability to love, to marry, to form families, continue dreaming and reaching the highest of potentials that America has to offer us. Happy Pride Month. May God bless all of us. May God bless our city. And my prayer is that we continue to find love for each other and unity and equality without the fear of intolerance that seems to be elevating in the current political discourse. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Fernandez. Commissioner Bott.
Well, first of all, it is very uncharacteristic of me to be in such dull, dark colors, and I didn't connect the dots. I'm looking at these amazing graphic tees, and I just have to stand up. At least I do have a little print on myself. So I am representing a little bit. Seriously, though, this is, what Alex said is 1,000% right, and the fact that we are, as a state, facing, we're not the only state, but this is our state at the moment, and that we are facing removal from office if we advocate to help our constituents get what they need from their city government is outrageous and offensive on every level. It's shocking. It is beyond comprehension, and I am confident that it's going to be a short-term blip, unfortunate chapter in our history. One of the things that was so meaningful about getting the Rainbow Crosswalk installed as a sidewalk that is ours now, all those state people can keep their little mitts off of our art installation in our park, which I did with the unanimous support of my colleagues on the dais and with the very hard work by the city staff and Eric, with me being exigent that it was going to happen before Pride, and I don't know how. You guys figure it out. Let me know when we're cutting a ribbon. And to their great credit, they did. But the thing that really struck me, and I won't talk about, how hard it was to watch it being ripped up and people crying and saying, I'm out. Because that's not the solution, not to leave, but to stay and fight, right? Tempting though it may be. Not talking about that, talking about celebrating things going forward, because we need to remember that part. I had people come up to me and say, I was at the 2 prior installations of this Pride crosswalk. The first time when it was painted, and the second time, I forget, I'm not going to remember the details, but it was installed twice and it was made more permanent each time. And we kind of took it for granted because, it was awesome and progress was being made, and it didn't, it was fabulous to be celebrated, but it didn't hit the same way. And now it's something we can't take for granted anymore because things are being ripped away from us, telling people what they can do with their own bodies, who they can love, what books they can read, what religion they should be adhering to. I mean, it's a little crazy in schools right now, but I mean,
There are candidates that are out there with some pretty extreme views on religion.
There are a lot of candidates out there with a lot of extreme views, but so my point, and I do have one, is that this is not a fight that any of us are in alone. I have an increasingly large and rapidly growing T-shirt collection with things across the chest. You talk about wearing it on your sleeve. I'm like, okay, here's my billboard. There's one T-shirt that I've bought in 3 different colors because I like it that much, which I know is a little bit crazy, but I wear it, and every time I wear it, people stop me, wherever I am, and it says something to the effect of, equal rights are not like pie. If somebody else gets more, nobody's getting less. And that's what everybody needs to remember. Everybody, I'm not saying you guys, obviously, this is not, the problem isn't in this room, but everybody who's doing this nonsense, visiting this nonsense upon all of us, because it is all of us, needs to just relax. No one's taking anything away from anybody else. We are all just trying to live our best lives in a happy, healthy, loving manner without stepping on each other's toes and getting home safely at the end of the day to be with people we care about. And that doesn't seem to me so incredibly crazy, like scary or weird. Like, who does that? So, onward and upward. We are with you, as Alex said. No one's going anywhere. We are fighting this together. We're going to figure it out, and we will prevail.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, I was remiss to mention something. And I think it's one of the most important things that has to be mentioned, and I mentioned it a lot during Pride, but it's the support of our allies and this city commission, all of you. I was so proud that the effort to reinstall the Rainbow Crosswalk was led by you, Commissioner Abbott, a straight ally of the city commission, because it's expected of me as an openly gay elected official to fight for our fight, but it means so much more when straight allies come forward to fight our fight. And to all of you that have been present, Mr. Mayor, the speech that you gave at the unveiling of the crosswalk, I mean, people still speak about that speech and the passion that you had on it, and just the unified front of this entire city commission and the straight allies that we have here. I think that can't be forgotten, because our rights don't exist if it were not for the strength and the unity and the force of our allies who stand up for us. And I want to thank you guys for that, because Miami Beach has historically been that bastion, and we know that it will continue to be that bastion of hope and equality for everyone.
Probably the biggest compliment as the mayor, probably all of us as electeds, that I hear people say is that we are a welcoming city, that people want to be here, feel comfortable being here, no matter what group. That, to me, is the goal that we all serve, that people should feel comfortable living the life that they want to live. I mentioned this, thank you for mentioning the crosswalk installation. I'll repeat one story that I mentioned there that I think is worthy of repeating. When we had a prominent member of our LGBTQ community who was thankfully not physically assaulted, but verbally assaulted, he reached out to us, he reached out to me, took immediate action. And I said to him at the time, I told him, I said, I treat this the same way I would treat an anti-Semitic attack. There is no difference to me. Hate is hate. And I've given you that my commitment, and I was grateful that he acknowledged that I did immediately step in, as I'm sure my colleagues did as well. The sad part is, well, I'll mention one other thing. One of the legislations that I brought recently was that it became apparent that we have municipal ordinances. They mirror often the state ordinances, but we have our own prosecution team for misdemeanors. But it became apparent in working with our city attorney's office that if there was a hate crime committed on the underlying act, there was no repercussions for it. There was no penalty for it. So something like graffiti, which generally is not treated, unfortunately, very seriously, but if it's a hate graffiti, for example, the swastika drawn on the Pride bench, there would be no extra consequences. So I brought legislation that our commission unanimously adopted, changing that there would be a minimum 30-day sentence for that. You know, this has been touched on, but it's 99% unites us. It's that one, maybe even less than 1%, but that seems to get the focus of the attention. And it's so sad because people try to divide us. And the us is collectively. And the way to me that we all collectively defeat the hate is that people of good intentions stay together. And that when there's an attack against one, it's an attack against all of us. And that's the way we're gonna win. I really believe that, and look forward to working with all of you together and making sure that we keep Miami Beach, that beautiful, welcoming city that everyone says, wow, I feel so safe being here. And that's the goal. God bless you, and thank you for your work. Yeah, we want to hear you speak, but we'll finish up on the dais here. Commissioner Monica Mateo Salinas, and then Vice Mayor Dominguez.
So thank you for being here today, and thank you, Commissioner Fernandez, for bringing this forward. Both of these are super important. I remember exactly where I was when I heard about Pulse. I remember that moment. And it's something you'll never forget, because it could have been a family member, it could have been me. And so we have to remember this year after year, because those people did not die in vain. And it's just super important that we're just taking a moment to honor them. Switching gears, Pride, which is more celebratory, it's more hopeful, it's a beautiful celebration. And I am just so proud to live in a city. I'm proud to live in a city that celebrates Pride. And I'm going to stop my remarks there because I'm going to cry. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being wonderful neighbors, wonderful community members. And I said this when I spoke at Lincoln Road. Miami Beach, South Beach wouldn't be what it was today without our LGBTQIA community. I mean, our city was built by and for and from our gay community, and we will never forget that, and we will always appreciate that, and you will always be welcome and safe here. As long as I'm up here, I will fight for you. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Dominguez.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Fernandez, for bringing this forward. And thank you to the LGBTQ community committee for all of your hard work and what you do to spread the message. The first item that we have here is the Remembrance Day, and it is so important to honor and remember the souls that were lost that day and the hate that was behind it, which it's not what Pride is about. And to have that happen in an establishment that is meant for love and positivity, it's it's important to remember, so thank you. And then for Pride Month, we had our Pride Parade in April because it's a teeny bit cooler then, and what a beautiful day that was, and I really was touched with having the crosswalk inside the park for the first time in many years because of what happened and all of the hard work that went into putting such a fabulous event that was full of joy and fun and lots of hope. And I want to make sure that we continue. I'll always be an ally for the LGBTQ community. And as one of my colleagues mentioned, I hope that some of the laws that have been passed in Tallahassee are just a blip that we will change next year. And so we'll keep that hope alive. Until then, happy Pride.
Madam Chair.
So I'm going to go first as the chair of the LGBTQ community. And yesterday we had our meeting and I actually brought sprinkle cakes and disco ball napkins because it was Pride. And I wanted to thank this entire team behind me and everybody who's absent because it feels a place of joy when I go into those meetings because we're all on the same page. So thank you to all of you and all the experience that all of you bring. And we live in a city where we celebrate Pride twice. As Commissioner Dominguez said, we celebrate it in April and we celebrate it in June, and we actually also celebrate it in October as part of LGBTQ History Month, and we live it all year round, our residents and community who are part of our community, and Pride isn't going to go away. We've announced our dates for the 19th edition, which is going to be April the 10th and 11th, 2027. So whatever happens, Pride is resilient and it's not going away. So I'll let my colleagues speak, but thank you to all of you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Pride. I just wanted to say quickly that I think that it's been mentioned, so many beautiful things have been mentioned, and I think when you live here, I feel very blessed to be able to live here for almost 20 years now, that we take so many things for granted. This committee being one. In the work that I do, I work in healthcare. I talk to lots of people around the country, and communities say, what could we do? And I said, well, do you have an LGBTQ committee? And they go, what? That would never happen. That's impossible. Like, what do you mean? You get to talk to the committee. You know the mayor. You get to communicate with the city. They back you up, and I'm like, yeah, you need an LGBTQ committee to represent you in these things that your community needs. And I just wanted to point that out, how special it is. So we have a city that has so many different committees, how important they all are. But this one specifically, because it is so, so rare around the country, that Miami Beach is always being that light out in front. They're like, please teach us, how did you do it? What do we need to say? How do we make this happen? We need help. And it's from the experience here that I get to share that other places. So thank you all.
I'll go ahead. Hello, friends. I'm happy to call you friends, right? My name is Christoph Babka. I'm with Save LGBT. And, you know, I didn't choose to be gay, but I did choose to live in Miami Beach. And there sometimes is a question of whether it's nature or nurture, someone's sexuality. It's in Miami Beach's nature to be compassionate, to be strong, to be fun. We are nurtured by our leadership. The tragedy at Pulse, when they ripped away the rainbow sidewalk there, that was devastating because that was a memorial. 49 people's lives were taken, and our government stripped a memorial away. People came with chalk. They tried to fill it up themselves, and that was taken away too. Here in Miami Beach, when those pavers were ripped out of our land, y'all went immediately into action. Immediately, replacing it beautifully in a testament to who we are as a community. When a horrible symbol of hatred one of the worst symbols of hatred, desecrated a beautiful bench you created for us. The action was swift and immediate, as was the punishment. I cannot speak to other cities. I don't know how their government runs, but I know that here we are protected and loved entirely thanks to your support, your faith in us. And though pride is tinged with a bit of sorrow because of the uncertainty of the future, I know that love will always win thanks to you.
Hello, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Vincent Beccanelli. I'm Director of the LGBT Visitor Center over in Old City Hall. You know, my first Pride was back in 1986 when I was 18. And, you know, I think that, you know, I was in New York in the 80s and the 90s. I was there protesting with ACT UP and Queer Nation. I was there to watch all these things being granted to us. And now I'm watching as people are just taking one hand and wiping it all away like it's nothing. You know, I have to tell you that it's made me feel a little bit hopeless sometimes, but I really think that this moment brings a little bit of light to me, a little bit of hope. And they say the arc of justice is long. Well, I hope it's not that long. So, but thank you so much for this.
Well, my name is Amy Glautman. I am the outcast of the group, the token straight person. I'm here because I have a trans child, and I live terrified every day for her safety. And I'm so grateful to my committee and to all of you for working so hard to make the city safe for her, because I don't sleep at night. So thank you all for your work, and I'm going to cry, so thanks for making me talk.
So, Mr. Mayor, if I may, the city of Miami Beach is proud to uplift the work of the committee, but to uplift the diversity of our LGBTQ community. The love, the visibility, the voices, the history, and the progress we've made, and the progress we won't allow to be taken away from us. And so on behalf of our community, we declare June as Pride Month in the city of Miami Beach. Y'all want to go down? Yeah. Let's go together.
It's so funny that we're all wearing blue today. We never all wear blue. I know.
Can I say thank you to Cara?
Yes.
PA 6.
PA 6 is proclamation, the Flower Bazaar.
Vice Mayor Dominguez. Oh, sorry.
Impossible acts to follow.
Well, I'm very excited to showcase you because Flower Bazaar, and I'll read it in a moment, but when you hear Flower Bazaar in Miami Beach, it represents elegance, quality, style. Everybody that's received a Flower Bazaar creation is just stunned. I know I've gotten several throughout the years. I've ordered as well, and the love and care that you put into every design, it's just spectacular. Another thing I love about your business is that you both live here. You live on Belle Isle, you work in South Beach, and you care about our community. Aaliyah, you've called when you've had issues come up with the haulers or different things. You're fighting for your business, and I hope that we at City Hall can do everything we can to help you in return. But I do want to read a little something about you. So the Flower Bazaar is a distinguished floral and event design studio renowned for creating elevated floral experiences for corporate events, weddings, luxury hotels, and private celebrations throughout Southeast Florida. Through a design philosophy that blends sophistication with creativity, the Flower Bazaar has earned recognition for its distinctive installations, refined centerpieces, and exceptional client service within Miami Beach. The Flower Bazaar began its journey in Miami Beach in 1998 and has flourished under the leadership of Thierry Adam and Leo Lenaro since 2011, continuing to elevate the city's artistic and cultural landscape. And the company's dedication to excellence has contributed meaningfully to the Miami Beach's vibrant hospitality, cultural, and event industries, enhancing the city's reputation as a global destination for creativity and celebration. As the Flower Bazaar receives this proclamation, the company expresses deep gratitude for being recognized by Miami Beach and proudly shares this honor with its clients, collaborators, and dedicated team members whose passion and support have helped the studio thrive while embodying the spirit and creativity of Miami Beach. Now, therefore, do we as mayor and commissioners in the city of Miami Beach proclaim June 10th, 2026, the Flower Bazaar Day.
Thank you. If I may say a couple of words.
Of course.
I'm very humbled by this recognition. My name is Leo Lenaro. As you have said, this is my partner, life partner, and business partner. Yes, those things are possible. However, very, very hard after 15 years. So 15 years, I say, because that's as long as we've been working together in the same business. They do feel as long as the 33 years that Tom was recognized for, or the 40 years that Tropicolor was recognized for sometimes. Working for yourself, being your own boss is really hard work, as those of us who have done it and do it would attest. But coming to the thank you part, I really want to thank you, Commissioner Vice Mayor Dominguez, for being a champion for small businesses, and clearly for the entire commission and the mayor for working so hard to make this a wonderful city to live in, to prosper in, and yes, to live for 22 and 21 years in, and for making this an exciting destination for the visitors that then become our customers. If I can dare to share a very small personal story, going back to your work, which is recognized, I read every single one of your emails, for those of you who do email, even your very long one back a couple of months ago, Commissioner Butt.
I have things to say. What
Very
can I tell you?
pointed, and I very much appreciate the detail and the clarity. But once I sent a probably beachy email to you, Commissioner Dominguez, you wrote right back to me and said, and you obviously read your constituents' emails too and respond to them. You said, well, I know the Flower Bazaar and I received one of your creations during a, if I may say so, a sad time in my life. And clearly that disarmed me right there and then and took me off my, battle horse. And reminded me of why we do this, as a small business person, as an artist, which,
my partner is more of than I am, we are reminded that there is a transaction involving somebody who pays for the things that we do and somebody who receives the things that we make. But there's obviously a feeling and a sentiment that gets transmitted, and there is something that in our very small we can actually do for other people to make them feel better every single day. So I really, again, thank you for all your hard work. It's not unrecognized, certainly not by us. And I will be remiss if I didn't recognize the work of our associates, all 11 of them, who are not here. We only have one who will come and take pictures with us in a moment, who make it all possible for us. And without whose work, we really would not be anything. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bott.
I've had a couple of small businesses. Clearly, I don't anymore. And the thing that is so interesting about being a small business, especially one like yours, where there's artistry and passion and love in the product that you produce, is that nobody gets into the flower artistry business because they really love figuring out the accounting books and staffing plans and the roof leaks and figuring out the garbage that has to get picked up. And for you to have succeeded and to continue to succeed through all of that in the way that you have. I mean, I've walked into events where the flowers are dazzling. I'm like, God, where do these come from? And it's you guys. And so I commend you because I know how hard it is to run a small business. I failed spectacularly at doing so, and I see you succeeding spectacularly, and I wish you many, many more years together as partners, as artistic creators, and as, business anchors in our city. And it's not lost on us that, as fancy new businesses come in, it's the folks who've been here for years and years who are, the bread and butter of our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll tell you, it strikes me, I'm hearing you speak, you're so articulate. It's amazing when people come up here, they're not you, maybe, I don't know your whole professional history, but you come up here and with grace, and it's actually nice to see the kind of residents and professionals and businesses that we have here in Miami Beach that really make our city shine.
And you're part of it. Obviously, you create an environment that fosters it, so.
Thank you. All right, let's do it.
Can we scoot in a little more, a bit more to the center? A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. More.
PA5.
PA5 is proclamation ALS Awareness Day.
Come on up. It's at this point I usually say last but not least. I hope you know that. There's I'm actually, I'd love to say something, but why don't you introduce yourself first so people know who you are?
Absolutely. I am Sayadat Balagan. I am the development manager for the ALS Association, ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, probably more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease, which we just celebrated Lou Gehrig's Day last week on June 2nd. So I just want to thank this amazing city, and I want to just say, I was last, but I was able to witness something so beautiful. I work in nonprofit, and I'm always pouring love, and that's what I'm going to start with today. That's what I witnessed. This is a beautiful city with beautiful people, led by a beautiful and amazing mayor and a beautiful city commission. And just to say something, 4 years ago when I started working with this nonprofit, I started my mission work right here, right? And I met a beautiful resident, Mr. Todd Bachman, whose family is deeply rooted in this community. And he joined me as an ally, not being personally impacted by ALS, but literally just wanting to help those families and those people living with ALS. So it's beautiful that I'm here today and just seeing all the wonderfulness here. So thank you for having me.
Wow, thank you. So I'm going to go off script and tell you how I learned about ALS. I'm a huge baseball fan, and obviously ALS, known as Lou Gehrig's disease. But I think it's important to recognize who Lou Gehrig was for a moment. So he was one of the best players in the game, played with Babe Ruth, one of the greatest players ever to play baseball, played in 2,130 consecutive baseball games. At the time, there were 154 games in a season. Now there are 162. That almost 14 years in a row. So anybody who's not a baseball fan, most players, it's very rare that a player plays in every game in a season. Very rare. Maybe 1 or 2 players will do that in any given season. He did it for 14 consecutive years. And that's the irony. He got to a point, and I hope as a kid, this is what I learned, and I hope I understand it is accurate. His play started deteriorating severely. He was getting a little older for a baseball player. He was about 35, I think, at the time. But so much so that he finally told the manager, "You need to take me out." The manager said, I can't take you. You've played 2,130 consecutive games. And he's like, "I can't do it anymore." It got to a point, and what was not known and then became known was that he was suffering from ALS. And then, of course, the unbelievable heroics that they do this day for him in Yankee Stadium. I'm going to get emotional because I've seen there's actual footage of this from 1939 where he says, "I consider myself today the luckiest man alive." I mean, I believe he really believed that, which is hard to believe in itself. And then he died 2 years later at the age of 37. So I mention that because you're talking about a person who was an extremely strong human being. One of the greatest baseball players, hit 493 home runs in his career, played all those consecutive games, but the disease doesn't make any distinctions. And I'm really grateful that you have taken it upon to highlight this disease and the work that you did in putting together this Saturday. Why don't you tell us, you hosted this walk at Jungle Island. Tell us a little bit more about it.
So we had our signature event that the ALS Association has, which is the Walk to Defeat. It's done across the country. And we had it at Jungle Island, and it was a beautiful event. Brought out over 500 people to Jungle Island, and it was an experience that I know will be with these families forever. You know, a lot of the times our walks are some of the first places that newly diagnosed patients attend. And sometimes it can be the last event that they get to come together. As you stated, Mayor, ALS is debilitating and devastating. So as a development manager, and as you can see, I like to dress real funky and fly, right? Everything about any event that I do has so much love, energy, and it's just, it brings together community. Right? So I am very happy that this beautiful city, right, is acknowledging that. And I just want to say this on behalf of all of my colleagues, right? On behalf of the ALS community, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the mayor and the city commission of Miami Beach for recognizing and acknowledging the courageous ALS heroes who call Miami Beach, South Florida, and throughout Florida home. Your support shines a light on the challenges faced by individuals and families affected with ALS and honoring their strength, resilience, and determination. We are also deeply grateful for your recognition of the ALS Association and our ongoing efforts to serve the community through research, advocacy, and care services, support groups, and resources for families in doing this difficult disease. Thank you for standing along with our heroes, and thank you for helping us advance awareness, which is truly needed. We do have some heroes that live right here in this beautiful city. So it really just warms my heart. This is not just a job. This is now my life's mission, to make sure that I can empower them, give them some hope, and I'm so excited to continue the beautiful work within the city. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Wow. Seriously. You started off by saying how amazing and beautiful our city is, but I'll tell you, it's people like you who just make our city the incredible city that it is. I'm going to, and thank you, Saidat, Todd Bachman, for your incredible work. I'm not going to read the whole proclamation, but I'm going to read a little bit of it that hasn't been mentioned. Approximately 30,000 individuals in the United States are afflicted with ALS at any given time, with 5,000 new cases appearing each year, with a person losing their battle with the disease every 90 minutes. In 2013, the University of Miami ALS Center was designated as a certified treatment center for excellence for the ALS heroes living in Miami-Dade County. The City of Miami Beach recognizes the essential support provided by the University of Miami ALS Center to our residents, acknowledges the strengths of the patients, caregivers, families in our community who navigate the challenges of this disease, maintaining our dedication to ensuring those affected have access to the resources and support necessary to live with dignity. And obviously you're a massive part of that. Now, therefore, do we, as mayor and commissioners of the City of Miami Beach, hereby proclaim June 10th, 2026 as ALS Awareness Day in the City of Miami Beach.
Before we go get pictures and everything, did you start off with the expression pouring love? Did I hear that correctly?
Absolutely.
I've never heard that, and with your permission, I would like to, I'm not going to say steal, but spread, pour that love all over. It's such a beautiful expression, and hearing you talk about the mission that you're on and the passion that you bring to it. And I know not-for-profit work is hard, it's challenging in these times particularly, and it's hard when you know what the outcome is going to be, especially. Thank you for pouring your love over this disease and the people who are dealing with it, and people are trying to find cures for it, and we are going to be with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually want to, often I thank the residents, and I do, of course, and all those who are on it. I want to thank each of you, because this was really moving today. This was, sometimes we have 15 or 18, it was 10 today, but they were all extremely impactful. So thank you for a very meaningful award ceremony. Meeting adjourned.